Alright everybody, welcome back to the Uncharted Vapors. I'm Josh Wazzy and today I'm bringing you a review on a device I picked up for the purposes of the review. It is a tag-along review of a device that I've already reviewed. The Air RBA by Kloud Innovations. This is the product that goes with that, many more. It is the Throne tank for bridges, and it's made by Kloud Innovations. So with that, let's bring it down, open it up, show you what comes inside the package, and then we'll bring it back up on top and talk some more about it and give you my pros and cons. Alright, here we are down low with the new Kloud Innovations Throne. So, pick this up for the purposes of the review. It is a nice addition to go with the RBA I've done the review on, the Hair RBA by Kloud Innovations. So, let's look inside and see what you get. So, first thing you're going to notice is a little baggie with an extra, I'm a center post screw, some O-rings, the tank, and you get a drip tip with it. And I guess you can opt, if you want to get the spare glass if you need one, which is a wise choice, especially if you're international. So here is the drip tip that you get with it. Let's clear that up. Very nice stainless steel and clear polished drip tip that matches the tank very, very well. As you can see, very, very done, well, nicely done. And then you're going to get your Throne itself. Very, very nice tank. Easy to work with, easy to build on. So, all you do, unscrew the bottom base. This here is where everything happens, your magic. Then you can see how hollow it is here. Unscrew this. Woo! Let's throw pieces around. So you see as I'm breaking it down in multiple pieces, and the reason being is I'm going to show you. Top fill tank, so take the top section off. You can slide your glass out. Oh, a little, there we go. A little tight with it being new. So as you can see here, you get your 4 pieces. Let's clear that up. So you get your deck piece where your RBA will sit in, your top cap where your drip tip will go in, like so. You get your bottom base where you adjust per bridge. So with each bridge you can adjust the pin inside of there on the bottom based off your bridge. And you love that logo that's on there, which says Throne, as the Air has its own. The center glass section, which means you should not have a problem with mentholated or fruity menthol juices. And then you get your main base itself, okay? It has 4 O-rings total. 1 for the bottom section, 2 for the glass, and 1 for the top fill section. Now with that, I've prepped my hair, and I'm going to show you how easy this is. Okay, so inside of my hair, I have a 2.5. Let's zoom it in. Let's clear it up. Let's get back on camera. Clear right there. Alright, so inside mine, I have a 2.5 millimeter inner diameter fused Clapton. Okay. 32 gauge by 2 by 36. And if you look on this side, you have the hair. Let's get that right in camera. Focused in. You see that logo for the hair. And where's my bottom section? And then you get the Throne. So, hair and Throne. Very nicely done. Perfect machine work. I'm not going to lie to you. There's no dits, dings, burrs, spurs, anything with this device at all. It is brand new, except for my hair RBA, which, let me clear that up. Let's zoom back out a little bit. Clear that up for you. All right. That's still a little foggy there. Let's get a little bit more clearness. There we go. So you take your bridge, set it on the inside right here. You put it together. Of course, I'm not wicked yet. You're going to take your main section, put it on once, of course, you have your wick in. You're going to put it together. It is a nice tight fit, which just means it's sealing. Yeah, wetting it up a little bit. Once you feel it grab, they go right in, smooth, butter smooth. See that? No problems. Take your glass. I'm just going to moisten them up a little bit here and on the bottom. Slide my glass right on top. Lock it down. Boom. It is now done. Now my throne is pretty much together. Now, what I suggest you do is you pull your 510 pin down, because you want to have some space in here to be able to have room that it touches the bottom base. Every bridge is different, so let's go ahead and put this together. Normally my chimney section would be here, but I've got it in another throne that I've been playing with for a little bit. And you tighten this down. Once it's tightened down, you now have, and then you put your top cap on, you now have a full throne. Very simply done. Very well made. Very well machined. Now, 22 millimeters to 23 millimeters, back to 22, and back up to 23 on this top cap. Good gripping portions on it. Your airflow adjustments on the bottom are very easy. Mouth to lung. So let's come in here. Let me show you this. So, as everybody know, with the hair, you have inserts. Well, here's a mouth to lung. Let's keep twisting it back over to the next airflow slot. Mouth to lung. Then we have a little bit looser mouth to lung. Then you have your restricted direct lung. And then your wide open direct lung style setting. Okay. Now with this, you can fine tune this thing in to become a mouth to lung beast if you're into mouth to lung. And just look at that shine. Brand new. It is barely polished. I'm actually going to polish mine up because I like that polished look. And it just looks amazing. All together, perfect machine work. No dings, dents, spurs, nothing. No machine oil, no VG, PG, nothing like that on here. It is amazingly done. Serial number 197. So, you know, there's not a whole lot of these out there, obviously, but, you know, you can't beat it, you know, just to pull this down, break this get to your bridge. You'll have your chimney section here. Your chimney actually slides in right here at the very bottom, right there in that bottom hole. And there is a O-ring inside of here, as you can see. Right there, there's an O-ring. Right there, there's an O-ring. Okay, so it seals your chimney. So you get your chimney in there, very nice, big kidney, triple section, very well done. Glass section, so you don't have to worry about your section cracking on you. Now, I'm going to go over some pros and cons on this when we bring it back up on top. So, without further ado, let's take this, even though it's in pieces, bring it back on top, get it back in camera. Let's zoom it back down. There we go. And bam. I'm going to put a wick in it real quick. This is already ohmed at around a 1.1 ohm coil. It has been used. No reason for me to tear it apart, rebuild it, etc., when the coil is doing very well. With that, once the wick is in, I'll bring it up, let you see it. It'll go on a DNA device. It's going to go on my Aries 21 by Bennett Customs, from Everything BC Customs in the US. It's a 21700 DNA 75C. So without further ado, I'll see you. Let's get this back out. Woo! 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 Okay, I'll see you back up on top. All right, so here we are back up on top with the Throne tank by Kloud Innovations. This is a big shout out and thank you to XJ Opina for getting me out this tank very quickly on his busy schedule and while we're under another lockdown. That's right, people, another lockdown for no reason. Anyway, let's move forward with what we got going on. So, we're going to talk about the tank a little bit more in depth, and with that, I want to say I'm going to give my pros and my cons regarding the tank, and some things I say that if ever I say a V2 comes out, then something that could be changed on it. So, here we go. Pros on the tank. Amazing flavor. To me, it actually enhanced the flavor of the Air RBA 2 times compared to being by itself. Why? Don't know. I have plenty of inserts. I have plenty of airflow restrictors. There's restrictors for it as well, as you know, as you've seen in the video on the channel. So today I'm running it on the Aries 217 by BC Customs. Bennett Tool Customs, or Everything BC Customs. I'll link their Facebook page in the description below as well. I will also link Kloud Innovations group down below as well, so you can see new products as they get released by the amazing XJ Opina. So, pros, amazing flavor. Pros, machining was superb. No scratches, no dinks, no burrs, no spurs, no issues. Very, 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 very well machined device. Okay, when I got it in, it was very well cleaned. It didn't have VG and PG or any of that other G's or any oils all over it. It still was cleaned up for me, but it didn't have anything on there that was unnecessary. So on it, you have different settings to bring it from a mouth to lung, restricted direct lung, to direct lung. On the tank itself, through the airflow adjuster. Now that does not include also the inserts that come from the air that you can add in to make this a true mouth to lung experience if that's what you're in. I personally have it wide open on the inside of the air, and I have it down on the restricted direct lung, restricting the airflow in. That's what I've done. Now, with that, this is probably the best bridge tank on the market. There's the Limelight Arch. I've never had it. I don't have one. Never reviewed one. But just seeing it, they came in 2 renditions, a 22 and a 24 millimeter. The 22s wouldn't house anything that was not cylindrical shaped. Basically something like the Insider, the Air, the Exo set, stuff along those lines that are in a round shape, round form, Flow 2, you know, stuff like that would fit in a 22 millimeter. But this is not just 22, and I can pull it out, I can tell you exactly, but if I remember right, it's only 23 millimeters. The widest part of this is 23 millimeters, both cap where it goes down and the center section where your bridge goes. Okay, those are the widest points. The rest of the tank, between the glass and this bottom base, all of the rest of the body is 22 millimeters. Even when it comes down, it's a 22 millimeter tank with a 23 millimeter section that can house any bridge you want to put in it. Obviously, common sense says you can't put a vape smell inside of this, but that's obvious. But you can put a vape shell inside of it with no issues. So with that, that's a very, very big pro. It's been minimized to the point that it does not add a lot. Holds 5 mils of juice roughly. Maybe you can squeeze in a little bit more. Downfalls with anything, but this is our Boro world, is you would have to drain the tank to go in if you didn't wick it right. That would be the only con to that part. Second con I've got on the tank. I'm not using the drip tip it comes with. I'm actually using my own, but the glass section. The glass and the stainless steel, two areas right here. So you see the glass here and the stainless here. They should have been flipped, in my opinion. Reason why. If the glass was down here, you could always see your bridge inside to make sure that it doesn't twist inside for some reason. If it does twist, to close off your juice ports. That would be the only con I really see on this tank, is that part. Second con, the only con that there is otherwise that I see on here, is the fact that it has, I believe it's a 3/32 Allen screw on the inside, which is something that's been seen in the Jenna RDA, I think the 502, the Karma RDA. Those all came with 3/32, but came with an Allen key, but this does not. So you have to find it. And what that's for, it goes in the center of the 510 pin. It looks like a BF pin, but it's not. It goes in the center of the 510 pin to take up extra space if needed, depending on the bridge you're using. Say you're using a bridge that's too short and the 510 will go too far in, you can adjust that up. And it comes with a spare one that I believe is a little bit longer. So that way you can make connections still with the 510 and not be unsafe. So the only cons, glass is too high, it should have been flipped. So that's just a suggestion to flip if you ever make a V2. No tool for the center adjustment. That's a con. I don't know if it was supposed to come with the second spare glass, but to me, with this tank, it should have came with a spare glass on it. So with that, those are the only cons I had, but pros, flavor, amazing. Size, it's been minimalized to house anything inside of it. So you don't need to buy a 24 millimeter to house anything, or buy a 22 to house something else. So there's no reason for it. So with that, overall, the tank itself is very easy to use, very user-friendly to take apart, put back together, and it's very understandable. So with that, there's nothing else really to go over. Flavor, I give it, a 9 out of 10 on flavor. That's also going to be based on your build, the juice, etc., 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 your flow, okay? This is Dinner Lady Lemon Tart with a 1.224 ohm build. 1.224. And I'm only firing at 19.5 watts. Oh, last con. The AFC ring, off-centered. That's the one thing. I'm OCD, so that's just a personal thing. Like if you try to center this ring up on one side where you get it centered on the other side. No, mine's working. Never mind. I'll take that con away. Retract statement. I apologize. But no. Very easy to use. As long as you wick whatever you're putting in right, you won't have any leaking issues. You can actually put this together without the bottom airflow section on. And when you wick it, tighten the cap, flip it upside down, tighten it the rest of the way, and flip it over. If it starts leaking out, you'll know. Flip it back over. Or plug the holes the best you can, undo the cap, drain your juice, and re-wick. That's simple. But other than that, big shout out to Ground Kloud Innovations, Opina, for getting me out this device for the purpose of the review. Also, big shout out to all the sponsors I have right now: Denkat Sales, Denkat Main, Denkat Distribution, AAA Vape, Oxva, all of them have been a part of this, and we just picked up Burnout e-liquids, and I have several people that I support in there. BC Customs, he's a good friend. EVO, John Hemsworth, something's worth. It's worth something. Just saying. And with that, you know, all these people have contributed to this group. I've done stuff with Geek Vape, so, you know, I'm going to give them a shout out too, because it's pretty much owned by the same person with Oxfa. And also ZQ Vapors, thank you as well, because they're also a sponsor, as I have promoted their product recently, and Artery as well. Artery has an amazing product just like everything else, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for this, but shout out to all those people. And until next time, this is Joshua Ozzie, and I'll talk to you later.